More WWE returns are on the way, so we'll see what the latest is on that topic. We'll also see what's going on with Rhea's invite to Liv Morgan, Sami Zayn, and more. Let's start things off with Rhea Ripley inviting Liv Morgan to once again join the Judgment Day after being booed by the SmackDown crowd. We went over how everyone jumped in on this story. Becky Lynch called the fans out. Kayla Braxton said that she was annoyed with the negative reaction to Liv Morgan, and Rhea Ripley responded to it by calling the fans fickle and offering a spot in Judgment Day to Liv Morgan. So Rhea's proposal is not that bad of an idea. Like we've been talking about through the week, the SmackDown crowd reaction towards Liv Morgan didn't just come out of the blue. That reaction was a result of how Liv was presented during the SummerSlam finish. From the underdog champion to basically picking up a dirty win and retaining her title when she had tapped out. That moment there really threw Liv Morgan off the path she was previously on as a character. But depending on how WWE handles it, it may potentially land Liv Morgan on another new interesting route. And that's the route of turning heel. The only time we've seen Liv Morgan as a heel was during her early main roster days as being a part of the Riot Squad. But it was a trio, and Liv didn't really get a lot of solo time as a heel during those days. And ever since she's gone solo, she's been a babyface. So turning Liv Morgan heel right now would be the first time that she's been heel on this big stage by herself. That may be interesting to explore. And if Liv Morgan goes through this rock bottom arc where the fans have turned on her and she loses her championship, maybe Rhea's offer starts becoming more and more attractive to Liv Morgan. And not to mention that the women's tag team division appears to have a massive reboot on the horizon. It'll be a good time to start forming tag teams again. The women's tag team titles have finally been brought back, and there's going to be this big tournament to crown the new champions. There's a lot of hype around the tournament. And the women's tag team division itself. Everyone wants to know what tag teams we'll see in the tournament. Will Sasha and Naomi appear to reclaim their titles? So much hype and buzz around the titles again. So another great tag team to add back into the mix would be Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley. We saw this team earlier this year as babyfaces, but how impactful would they now be as a heel tag team? Liv Morgan would also count as the fourth member of the Judgment Day and would bring some fair balance to the group, because the group would then consist of 2 men and 2 women. So maybe that opens up more opportunities for the Judgment Day. Liv and Rhea go after the women's tag team titles, and maybe Finn Balor and Damian Priest make a run at the undisputed tag team titles themselves. So the idea is interesting, but we'll have to see how WWE plans on fixing this big hiccup that they accidentally created with Liv Morgan's character presentation. A very popular subplot that's been surrounding Roman Reigns and the Bloodline over the last few months has been everything going on with Sami Zayn. Shortly after WrestleMania season, Sami Zayn became sort of obsessed with being involved in the Bloodline. He's been trying to get Roman to notice him, and he tries to get closer and closer to the Usos and Roman Reigns every week. The Usos are smart. They haven't decided to fully get rid of Sami Zayn quite yet. They obviously give him the cold shoulder and don't welcome him in with open arms. But they give Sami Zayn just enough hope that he'll one day be truly involved with the Bloodline, so that Sami does keep coming back. It looks like, even though the Usos are getting annoyed with Sami Zayn, they still want to keep him around in the event of an emergency or a favor that they could just ask him to take care of. Like a while back when Kevin Owens was promised an interview with a Bloodline member, the Bloodline sent out Sami Zayn to that interview. So it's little favors in situations like that where the Usos can get the most use out of Sami Zayn's allegiance to them. The Usos recently told Sami Zayn that he'll have to start pulling more weight or they're going to ask him to take that Bloodline shirt off. And for months now, since this storyline started, fans assumed that the payoff would be Sami Zayn turning babyface after the Bloodline eventually took him out for good and no longer needed his services. Well now, the popular fan theory is that Sami Zayn could link up with Kevin Owens to form a tag team that will be a big enough threat to Jimmy and Jay's title reign. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are the best of friends in real life and even on WWE programming. They've been through it all with each other. There's been bitter rivals all the way to tag team partners on the main roster before. So what if this entire storyline with a bloodline leads to Sami and Kevin reuniting? That would instantly be one of the biggest threats to the undisputed tag team titles. And it would be a huge surprise for the Usos because they've been dismissing Sami Zayn as a joke for the last few months. And now, Sami could be coming back with his eyes on their tag team titles. That's a really good fan theory that's out there right now and would be pretty interesting to see unfold. Would the reunion of Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn really be enough to knock the Usos off as undisputed tag team champions? The fans have a really good idea on their hands with that story concept. In only a few weeks, as the head of creative, Triple H's influence on the show can already be heavily felt. We've seen big returns of superstars like Bayley and Edge. We've seen the returns of superstars who were released from WWE several months ago, such as Dakota Kai, Karrion Kross, and Scarlett. Reports claim that all these big returns from recently released superstars are all taking place really fast. Triple H is going out there and reaching out to superstars who he believes should have never been released and deserves another chance with his vision leading the way. And according to reports, the big returns are here to stay and won't stop taking place. Triple H and other higher-ups have reportedly been discussing the ideas of bringing back a lot of former WWE superstars. Triple H wants to reshape the roster and add a lot of depth back to it. And that's a good plan because obviously roster depth has been a really big issue for WWE recently, especially in the last few years where it's been non-stop releases after releases. The roster started becoming thin at the bottom and extremely thin at the top as well. It was getting to the point where fans were wondering who Roman would face next because there was not a lot of options left. Maybe that's why they kept turning to Brock Lesnar so often, because there just wasn't any depth. So it appears that that's the first thing Triple H is going after. He's bringing back all these superstars to bring back that roster depth and increase the options and his playing field. Now Karrion Kross is instantly presented as a big new threat in the main scene that could come for the winner of Drew McIntyre versus Roman Reigns. Maybe Kross even finds a way to insert himself into that title match at Clash at the Castle. So Triple H's presence and influence is being strongly felt right now. Hopefully the big returns do keep pouring in, especially with big stars like Bray Wyatt, who's pretty much near the top of everyone's wish list. But what are your thoughts on today's stories with Liv Morgan, Triple H, and Sami Zayn? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.